when we got back tonight, let me just move this across for this evening. We know internet connection, and hopefully we have internet right now. I hope I'm not just talking to a system that's not doing anything, but I'm assuming that we have internet right now because things seem to be working. Today's reading, for once, I have not pre-read. Therefore, you're getting it just as I am, and it's called Joy is Already in You. Joy is already in you. If you go deep enough into the personal, you reach the universal. And that was Andre Gide. And I don't know who Andre Gide is, but I'm going to look it up before the end. Ernest Holmes says, everything in the universe is a unique individualization or expression of the one thing, capitalized, which is the cause of all things. And that's in thoughts are things. Thoughts are things. No other reference there. Reverend Ryan says, I can't believe I'm about to admit this, but the other day I spent 15 minutes looking for my car keys, only to realize I had them in my hand. That brief escapade got me thinking, isn't that a lot like our search for joy? We run around frantically looking under couches and rummaging through the junk drawers of life, only to realize that we're holding the very thing that we're looking for. I'm not talking about happiness, which I tend to think of as the cupcake version of joy. Instead, I'm talking about the endless chocolate fountain at the all-you-can-eat buffet kind of joy. It is the space we live from, instead of a fleeting experience that happens to us. Where does joy come from? I believe joy comes from the awareness that we are the very home of the divine. The very energy that sustains and maintains the universe plops down on the worn-out, comfy old chair within us and says, whew, it's good to be home. Once we tap into this idea, we can take on anything that life brings with a sturdy and steadfast awareness. This doesn't mean we'll always be happy. Nor does it mean that there won't be some pretty hard stuff in life. Instead, joy serves as a harness that keeps us strapped. It keeps us strapped in when things get bumpy. It is the space of knowing within us that anchors us to the awareness of who we are. To live from this space is the very definition of joy. So what is Reverend Ryan talking about? You know, a lot of the time, a lot of us confuse joy and happiness. And as Reverend Ryan's pointing out here, I'm not quite sure, she's maybe a bit too hard about it. Happiness is more fleeting. Don't get me wrong, happiness is there to be enjoyed. Happiness is a good thing. When we're happy, we're feeling good. The good hormones are running through and we radiate something that's good. Happiness is really good. But happiness is fleeting. In other words, it doesn't continue. Whereas joy is something that's with us all the time. It's kind of ironic, but you can be joyful and not happy at the same time. I think what joy is to me, it's knowing that whatever happens, in the end, everything will come out all right. It's knowing that there is some power greater than we are, the power that runs the universe, that's supporting us, that's helping us, that there's people in our communities, there's people who are close by, relatives, friends, spouses, partners, and so on, who are there to support us. And it's the knowingness of that that gives us this joy. So I think joy is something that's foundational. It's something that we acquire through doing our work, that instead of feeling down all the time, we're able to just know that we can get through whatever it is and that we'll come out all right in the other end, as I just said. To me, that's what joy is. It's even knowing that despite all the frustrations of trying to get online here tonight, that it was going to work out. I mean, I knew somehow it was going to work out. Excuse me. I normally read my readings from the online edition, the digital edition. I do it through my computer. Usually, if I can't do it through that, I'll do it through my iPad or some other means. But because I couldn't get online, I went to the second thing, and you can't see this. I guess it's back to France, because I don't think it turns it around like Zoom does. But bottom line is that there was a backup plan. As I said, I was actually prepared to read from here. My wife had graciously already marked the page with a bookmark to where I was going to read from. But then when I got in front of my computer, after having gone through using 2 phones, I got one for business, one for personal, managed to get on Facebook on my phones and just about ready to go live on Facebook when I thought, well, I'm going to try it in the office anyway. I came in here, the router indicated it was back online again, whereas when I was in a few minutes earlier, or 10 minutes earlier, it was flashing pink, which means it's not connected. But we're looked after, because when I came in here, sat down, the router looked okay. I went online, I managed to get online, the web page is open fine, and here we are. Just going back to practical things, the affirmation that we get today is, and you can change this to suit your belief system. I am the home of the divine. I am an expression of life. I'm an expression of all that is. Change it to suit yourself, but it's simply a grounding. Joy is my base mode, if you like. You can always do that. Joy is my best mode. Just change it to suit yourself. As I mentioned yesterday, and as some of you probably found out, Creative Life Spiritual Center was not physically in operation this morning because there was no power. The power being shut off. They're talking about 1 or 2 weeks. Hopefully by next weekend it's back online again and we can actually do the service live. Reverend Jesse did his talk live. Reverend Lisa did a lot of work behind the scenes, and I did some work behind the scenes to make it possible so that he could do his talk. So it's there. It's up on Facebook. It's on YouTube, and I'm not sure where else. Is it on Instagram? I'm not sure, but anyway, it's available on Facebook and it's available on YouTube. You can look at it there. Reverend Lisa's talk from this morning is also available. And once again, she'll be on tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock to do her reading from the Science of Mind textbook. Science of Mind textbook can be pretty dry. It's not the easiest of reading. It's not like reading a novel. So when Reverend Lisa's plowing through this, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. And therefore she is interspersing. She and I talked about it. And she's interspersing it with some comments here and there to make it a bit less dry, but it is a dry read. However, it is foundational. It's foundational to our belief system. And if you have a copy, you could read along with her. If you don't have a copy, well, there you are then. You can also get a digital version, which you can read and you can just look up. It's pretty easy. That's really all I've got to say. The difference between joy and happiness. Happiness is good, but it's something that doesn't last a long time. It's normally based in things that are happening in the moment, as it were. And the moment can be a long moment, it could be a day. But joy is that foundational idea that everything is going to be okay in the end. Everything will be fine in the end. And it's when, instead of grumbling, we go back to the Zen master who said, "Thank you very much. I have no complaint whatsoever." And my wife was using it again today on somebody. "Thank you very much. I have no complaint whatsoever." That's kind of the underlying principle here, that everything is going to be okay. So I'm knowing that everybody's safe. We're putting a team together to call people for when things like this happen. We've always had a team. We're rearranging our team. If you need help, reach out to us, info@creativelife.org. Text me, 832-271-0717, 832-271-0717, or email info@creativelife.org. We are truly here to help you. And whatever your belief system is, these principles are something that can actually help your life go to another level. And it doesn't impact your belief system at all. It's simply saying there is a power greater than we are that's available to us, that we can use it. Or if you want to use the words of some great prophets like Jesus, it's done unto you as you believe. So until next time, namaste.